where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Grow your next birthday with our VIP Party Pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into Concord, North Carolina. It is the home of NASCAR here at Charlotte Motor Speedway as the Slingshot Sim Racing Truck Series is about to get underway. These drivers are about to go to battle. They are about to duke it out here for, I do believe, 120 laps of racing action here this evening. It's going to be one wild race. Going to be an amazing show here. Again, another 20-plus truck field of drivers loaded into the sim. Each and every one of them looking for the win here this evening as we'll get ready to set these drivers loose. We'll get ready to go green flag racing here in just a few more moments. Qualifying coming to a close here. Just a few more drivers left out there on the speedway to get their one and only lap in. You see the 144, the House of Speed Papa Mike Promotions ride of Jordan LaFawn. He's rolling out there on the speedway. See where he can slide into here on the speed chart as he goes down across the line. We'll see where this number 144 goes. Looks like he may get another lap around here, so that was just his warm-up lap. You'll see the 56th ride of Craig Schroeder out there on the racetrack. Brandon Sanfilippo out there as well. Sanfilippo out there on the speedway in the 16 machine, rolling out there on the track is Jordan LaFawn. Nice and easy through corner 3 and out of corner number 4. We'll head back down the start-finish line. We'll see where this slots him in with his lap time. Where does he jump to? Haven't seen it yet. We do see Sanfilippo going to 8th on the speed chart, but Jordan LaFawn not getting a lap time in there, so he may have made contact with the outside fence there. So an unfortunate break for Jordan LaFawn. That is going to hurt him here on the speed chart, so he will be starting deep in the field. Is Charmera coming in, says, let's go, Massey. Massey, 87 all the way. Cheering on Massey out there on the racetrack. I don't think there is Massey. Yep, so Brandon Massey in attendance in the 87 right here this evening. Currently in that second spot here is Matt Hutchinson with the quick time so far in qualifying. Massey in second, McRae in third. Wood and Morton rounding out our top 5 as we'll get ready to go green flag racing here. Our A main feature event about to get underway as Craig Michael Deacon coming in with that like on the stream. Mama Bear and Ty Dickinson coming in with the heart reactions. Brycey Bear coming in with the heart reaction as well, showing the love here. Jordan LaFawn with the like on the stream. Bryce coming in, smashing that share button as well as we get ready to go green flag racing here in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and or subscribe button if you're watching over on the YouTube channel. As we get ready to set these drivers loose, looking like a solid 27 car field here on the evening. 27 cars loaded into the sim. We may be 26 as Russell Martin Jr. may be up in the booth here this evening and not out on the racetrack as they will get lined up. They will get ready to rock and roll, starting on the pole and the Anderson Transportation and Logistics, the ATL machine. That is the 90 ride of Matt Hutchinson, who will start in that pole position. To his outside in the JB's Paint Shop 80 87, that is Brandon Massey. And starting inside row number 2, in the number 7 ride, that is James McRae. To his outside in the BKP Art number 2, it's Shannon Wood. Starting in the 5th position in the Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boats, number 8, that is Mark Morton. He'll have the House of Speed and LR Papa Mike Promotions number 6 ride of Lane Phillips. To his outside there in the 6th position. The 84 ride of Xander DeForge will start in 7th. He will have the San Filippo Solutions number 16 ride starting to his outside. That is Brandon San Filippo there in the 16 machine. The Team Conti Sim Performance Papa Mike Promotion Sweet Tea Gang NLR number 67. Ty Dickinson will start there in the 9th position. He has the Race City Racing Memorabilia 24 of Cody DeForge starting to his outside. DeForge will round out our top 10 here on the Speedway as Leroy Koblenz, Ira Colas, William McKellar, Brandon Honeycutt, Alan Wild, our top 15 here on the Speedway. Sam Collis will start there in the 16th position with Christian St. Andrews, Matt Taylor, Michael Wingo, hopefully I'm saying that right. Michael Wingo in the 0-1 ride back in the 19th spot. John Fowler, the 56 of Craig Schroeder. James Smith, Bryce Dickinson in the E&D Farms. Team Conti GG House of Speed Machine. Going to be starting back in the 23rd position. Jeremy Vaughn back there as well. Another one of those Team Conti NLR rides. And then you see Gary Wright in the 22 and Jordan LaFawn in the 144. Bringing up the rear of the field in his House of Speed Papa Mike Promotions Grip Hackney Live number 144 ride. 26 drivers ready to rock and roll is our front row. Matt Hutchinson, Brandon Massey ready to duke it out, ready to go to battle here from the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway. The iRacing pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit side as we are quickly going green flag racing here from Concord, North Carolina. Down through the Geico restart, so we see that green flag fly in quickly. Matt Hutchinson is going to unleash this field onto this beautiful, beautiful track, the home of NASCAR here at Charlotte. As quickly Hutchinson going to clear Massey on the outside. He's going to lead us nice and easy into quarter number 2 and out at quarter number 2 down the back straightaway. Trying to open up a truck length or 2 of a lead here is the 7 of McRae right there in second, trying to stay right there with them. Massey rolling about that middle lane here. He slid back 1 spot on the restart, so he slides back to 3rd as Mark Morton trying to jump up a spot here into position number 4. Shannon Wood right there as well, as we do see some contact, but we do see the 67 of Ty Dickinson making some quick moves. Ty's got himself up into position number 6, so the 67 ride pointed in the right direction, but we do see the first caution flag of the day fly. Looks like Cody DeForge, Brandon San Filippo, all running into some issues. Looks like Cody DeForge may have been collected in this as well, as we'll play this back, see what happened here as a few drivers come together. See if we can get a look at it and see what happened here, as we did see. Let me see if we can see Brandon San Filippo here, as there was some contact to show that they went off the racetrack here, so I'm not sure if it was down the front straightaway. 24 ride, the 16 just outside the top 10 here, or just inside the top 10. Looks like a little contact right there. The 24 down the racetrack there. The 16 goes with them, and then hard contact down on the inside right there. There is our caution flag as the 24, Cody DeForge, goes for a wild ride here down the speedway into pit lane. Makes hard contact. Luckily enough, none of the pit crews were down on pit wall here as he slides through the grass trying to get that truck pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, just could not get it to get woed up or pointed back in the right direction. Hard contact with the inside fence. Bounces right back up the speedway into the outside wall as well. And I'm not sure if anyone else gets a piece of them. Oh, the 23 and the 144 of Jordan LaFawn come in and clean him out. Upside down goes that 24 machine of Cody DeForge right on the hood of Jordan LaFawn. Tons of damage for all three drivers. Hang on to it here as Cody DeForge goes barrel rolling here in quarter number 1. Wowzers. I don't think that could have went any worse there for Cody DeForge in that 24. Right, let's see if we can get another look at it here as we'll see the contact between the 16 and the 24. This line down through the grass, the 24 into the inside wall, back up the speedway into the outside fence, and then, oh man, heavy contact there for all three of those drivers. That's such a tough break there for these guys. That was Christian St. Andrew in the number 23 ride, who ends up going up the racetrack here a little bit. He sees what's happening. I think he just thought maybe the 24 was going to come back down the track, and he doesn't, and he goes up the track to try to avoid him, and it's a little help right there actually from the 0-1, and that's what helps shove Jordan LaFawn an extra lane up there and into this contact. And oh man, look at that hit. That is a ferocious contact right there. See if we can jump right on board here with Jordan LaFawn. See if we can jump into the cockpit view, right onto the helmet cam here. It's a quick day for the 144. Jordan LaFawn, as he's not going to really see much here. See some smoke in front of him. Sees a truck come back up the speedway, and then all of a sudden, oh man, that's a jump scare and a half right there. You see Cody DeForge flipping down the racetrack right there. Wowzers. Big hits, big hits right there. Let's see if we can get another look here. Let's see if we can jump on board as well with Cody DeForge. Give you a great look here. Comes down hard into that inside fence, back up the racetrack, and then open to get cleared, and just gets absolutely cleaned right out. It was close enough. He could have gave a high five right there to Jordan LaFawn, even though I think LaFawn was maybe not giving a high five, maybe just a singular finger there. But nonetheless, we'll get him stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. As man, that was a wild one. That was a wild way to get things started here on the evening. As oh no, says Pete Fitzsimmons. Like, what the lap 2? Hell yeah, says Jordan. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Mama Bear says, let's go, boys. Cheered on all the boys, and that goes for all my boys. Let's go, Team NLR. Unfortunately, for one of the Team NLR rides, they're already pretty beat up here. Let's shoot straight up the track and park it. Yeah, unfortunate, Jordan. That's a tough one right there, my boy. That is a tough one. Papa Mike, Michael Dickinson coming in, showing the love with the like and the share on the stream. Jimmy Phillips coming in, showing the love as well with that like on the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Matt Hutchinson is our race leader. He's electing to use the outside lane here on the restart, so he'll start to the outside of James McRae, our second place driver there in the light brownish colored paint scheme there for James McRae. Different truck than what we're usually used to seeing him in. And then we see Brandon Massey in third, Mark Morton there in fourth. And then we see the two ride of Shannon Wood there in fifth, Ty Dickinson in sixth. Lane Phillips, Xander DeForge, Brandon Sanfilippo, Leroy Koblenz rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing as Richard Mott, my boy Richard, coming in showing the love with the like on the stream. How are you, Richard? Richard coming in showing the love with the thumbs up and the share here on the broadcast as lights are off. The official iRacing pace car, he'll head back down pit side, and that will unleash this field once again to our race leader, the 90 rider, Matt Hutchinson. Hutchinson will get ready for this restart here. A beautiful camera view as the 90 ride down through the Geico restart zone, nice and easy, staying in breezy midway through, puts the hammer down, gets a good launch and a good jump over the 7 ride of James McRae. That will help him lead us down into quarter number 1 as now he's got a little bit more room to work with here. So he's going to jump down to that inside lane, clears McRae, looking for a big run here out of quarter number 2 as he opens up a bit of a lead. Now the 8 ride of Mark Morton trying to figure out a way to get around the 7. The 8 87 of Brandon Massey there in position number 4 with Shannon Wood right there in 5th. A great start to the evening here for the Team Conti, Papa Mike Promotion, Sweet Tea Gang, and LR ride of Ty Dickinson up 3 spots early in this race. Now has himself there in the 6th position as his teammate Lane Phillips right there behind him. Xander DeForge back in position number 8 with William McKellar in position number 9 here, looking to the outside of the 48. Oh, the 48 of DeForge hard into the inside fence. Hard contact right there for Xander DeForge. Caution flag back on the speedway. His body panels flying all over the place here on the back straightaway. They're still dancing back here. My gosh, as we'll take a look here at the contact for another DeForge getting pretty much rode off here as the 80 or the 48 here just looks like just gets loose out of quarter number 2 here. I think both of them, maybe him and McKellar, both just getting a little bit loose. McKellar gets a little loose on the high side, comes down a little bit. The 48 comes up a little bit. They make contact, and that just gets this 48 bent out of shape. He's trying to save it, trying to keep it, put it in the right direction. Almost got it saved, but then the rear end kicks out right in front of San Filippo, and unfortunately just sends this 48 right down the racetrack hard into the backstretch opening right there as well. A weird angle to get into the wall, and just absolutely destroys that truck. Heavy damage there. Luckily enough, everybody else was able to avoid any additional contact. So, oh man, yeah, that's a tough break right here for the 48. Oh, that's a big hit. Head on with that inside wall. You hear that motor expiring as well. Get those brakes locked up, hoping for the best. Unfortunately, not the way either DeForge wanted the evening to go, as now we see the 48 of Xander DeForge and the 24 of Cody DeForge both down pit side with extreme damage to fix up on both of their rides. Christian St. Andrew still with heavy damage. He's down pit side. We have seen Joy LaFond take his truck back behind the wall, so we're losing trucks here by the handful here. Every single lap we're running out of a truck. We may not have enough here by the end of this race if we keep up with this pace, as my gosh, we're slowly but surely running out of them as Matt Hutchinson continues to lead the way. We did see a few trucks head down pit side, making some early pit stops, maybe try to get some maybe just some extra work done to their rides. Maybe not necessarily tires, but maybe some fuel, maybe just a couple different wrenches going into these rides, getting them a little bit more hooked up, maybe getting these rides a little bit quicker on the speedway with some adjustments. As a beautiful 22, the Gator Garage Doors 22 ride, the FedEx machine there of Gary Wright rolling on the speedway, the Robco Paul Out New Vegas, the Voltec machine there in 22nd, as McKellar did take his ride down pit side after that contact. So trying to get that truck cleaned up, hoping that the contact wasn't too extensive. And he's still rolling out on the speedway. Unfortunately, just lost a ton of track position. As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, as the true legend says, there goes my top 5. The lore legend. Unfortunately, your top 5 is a little bit of a bust here so far in this one. Little bit of a bust so far. Who did you have? Who did you have for top 5? I'm assuming both of the Forges possibly up inside the top 5. Christian St. Andrews. You look back at Jordan LaFawn as well, who's been collected in this one, and a lot of drivers running into issues. We'll see the 94 ride of John Fowler in the Dirty Monkey Motorsports 94 machine head back down pit side as well. So I'm not sure what is wrong with the Toyota Tundra 94 ride, but takes it down pit side, looking fresh out there on the speedway. Beautiful looking paint scheme here for the Dirty Monkey Motorsports ride, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stay on the lead lap. He's going to have to be cautious of that, as our race leaders are about to roll through quarter number 4, and he's still down parked on pit road. So he's going to have to get rolling here in a quick hurry, as we do see the 23 of Christian St. Andrew starting to roll onto the speedway here, but he does have extended amounts of damage on that ride, as John Fowler still down pit side here. like John may end up going a lap down. We did see something here. I'm not sure if John got collected in anything. Under caution flag, just looks like he may just stop on the speedway. Take this truck down pit side. So a tough break right there for John Fowler. It'll definitely put him a lap or two down here, being down on pit road, as more pit stops for McKellar as he's looking to get more work done to his ride. We also saw Craig Schroeder down pit side again as well. So more pit stops for some of these drivers as we'll get them doubled up and ready to go back to green flag racing, as Matt Ball says, let's go 87. Come on, Massey cheered on Mr. Massey here on the evening, as Brandon currently running in the 5th position on the speedway. Going to be looking for a big restart here, as he started on the outside of the front row. Quickly has fallen back about 3 spots on the speedway, trying to stay inside the top 5. But right now, I think the big thing is for a lot of these drivers is to try to keep it clean, trying to keep yourself out of trouble, keep yourself pointed in the right direction, maybe get an abundance of green flag laps going here. We've had a couple early caution flags in a few tore-up race cars here on the evening, as we got them double back up. Another restart as the pace car makes the hard left-hand turn back down pit side. We'll go back to green flag racing as Matt Hutchinson in the 90 ride. Our race leader, the control car down through the restart zone, gets a great launch here once again. The 90 quickly up through the gears, looking to clear that 7 ride, jumps down in front of him into corner number 1. So Hutchinson leads the way through corners 1 and out at corner number 2. He'll look to open up a little bit of a lead, but a great run there through the first 2 corners for McRae, as McRae will stay right there with him. Gonna take a peek almost down to his inside right there, as you see the 2 riders, Shannon Wood, make the move around Mark Morton for position number 3. Massey hanging on to that 5th spot as Ty Dickinson there in 6th. Lane Phillips back in 7th with Brandon Sanfilippo there in position number 8. Leroy Kovlitz, Alan Wild now our top 10 here on the speedway, as Bryce Dickinson right now our hard charger on the evening, up 12 positions, has himself just outside of the top 10 here with that House of Speed Papa Mike Promotions END Farms number 84. James Samantha right there behind him with Michael Wingo there in position number 13, as he's battling door-to-door with that 29 of Ira Collis. Jeremy Vaughn back there in the 15th position as Matt Taylor right there behind him. Brandon Honeycutt, William McKellar, Craig Schroeder, Sam Collis, our top 20. Gary Wright in 21st, as unfortunately for John Fowler, still down pit side. Alexander DeForge down pit road as well. Christian St. Andrews rolling back out on the speedway here. He is currently a few laps down back there in the 24th position, but we do see Cody DeForge still down pit side. Alexander DeForge has taken his truck off of the speedway, and so has Jordan LaFawn. So a few drivers have already left the building. A few drivers parked down pit side. Then out the field here just ever so slightly, but at the front of the field, looking to try to get some green flag laps under his belt, looking to try to open up a bit of a lead. The 90 rider, Matt Hutchinson, leads the way. Hutchinson out in front. McRae there in second. The 2 riders, Shannon Wood, in position number 3. Mark Morton there in the 4th spot with Brandon Massey right there with him. It's a bit of a gap here between our top 5. Back to our 6th place driver, almost a second now. Back to position number 6 with Lane Phillips and Ty Dickinson. Brandon Sanfilippo right there as well. Leroy Kovlitz, Alan Wild. Things starting to get a little bit more spread out here as the laps continue to build up. Not as many door-to-door battles, making things a little bit more interesting here, as now it may not be pure speed. It could be potentially, it could come down to, the correct time to come down pit side. It could come down to fuel management. It could come down to pit strategy on who can end up in victory lane. So you got to play your cards close to your chest here all evening long. Make sure you hit your marks. Make sure you don't make any mistakes out there. and especially when it comes down to pit road. If we see a long green flag run and see these drivers have to come down pit side, it's a very tricky pit road entry here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So these drivers will have to be very cautious on not only trying to keep their truck pointing in the right direction, going from the high banking in corner 3 and 4 down to the apron, where it's quite a bit less banking, a lot less grip down low as they would head down right about there. They gotta get checked up, they gotta hit their marks there, and you cannot speed down pit side. If you gotta make a pass through penalty or anything else, you could potentially be, a lap or two down in a quick hurry with one simple mistake, and just going a little bit too fast on pit lane is not the spot you want to have an issue here on the evening. As Hutchinson out in front leading the way here. The 7 rider McRae about 0.3 of a second, 3 truck lengths back there behind him as Mark Morton has worked himself back around Shannon Wood. So Wood back there in the 4 spot. Now you see the 57 as the JB's paint shop ride. The 87 of Brandon Massey slowly but surely closing in on the back bumper of that 2 machine as he's looking to roll forward here, maybe try to get back up towards his starting spot, and that was in position number 2. The battle there in front of him may not be over yet. It's another big run there for Shannon Wood as Wood taking a peek once again underneath that Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boat number 8 machine of Morton. As these guys all duke it out right here for our top 5, we see Lane Phillips sliding a little farther back here. He's about 1 2 back of that top 5 battle. Then a little bit farther, we see Ty Dickinson in the 67 ride. He's trying to hold on to 7th as Brandon Sanfilippo work into his outside. Leroy Copeland's right there as well as Team Conti GG, the Team Conti Sim Performance NLR Papa Mike Promotions rider Ty Dickinson up inside the top 10, having himself a good run so far. Alan Wild sees them battling door to door up here in front of him. He's trying to catch up to them as well as the 33 machine, the Simmons Sharks number 33, the Proud Dad ride there in the 10th position. Bryce Dickinson still there in position number 11 as he hangs on and showing the back bumper to the 10 machine of James Smith, but we do see the caution flag fly, so the yellow flag coming back out here for the 3rd time on the evening. Not sure what the issue was for. I do believe possibly the 56 of Craig Schroeder running into some issues. You did see Cody DeForge rolling back onto the speedways. Oh man, heavy hit right there. For the Sim Motion number 56 says, not sure if they just trying to get up the racetrack here, and unfortunately just ran out of room as he was strolling around the 0-1 machine. Michael Wingo, and unfortunately just some contact here. Let's see if we can get another angle at it as not sure if the 56 just coming up, Wingo coming down just a little bit here, and kind of just meet in the middle there. Unfortunately, they get hooked together and up over the nose. The 56 goes on that 0-1, and hard contact there for that Sim Motion number 56. See if we get another look at it here. See if we can come on board with this 56 as he heads down the front straightaway and into corner number 1. And then this is where the contact's going to happen right about there, and just up and over the nose of that 0-1 ride, and heavy damage there. We get one car back onto the racetrack. We saw the 24 ride of Cody DeForge rolling back out onto the speedway. We lose a couple more there as another driver getting collected. Does look like still a little bit of damage here for Cody DeForge, but the crew has gotten that car back out onto the speedway where you can at least keep it pointed in the right direction. We do see Xander DeForge still off the speedway. John Fowler has also taken his car off the racetrack as well. So far, we are out of 3 drivers as Xander DeForge, John Fowler, and Jordan LaFawn all have taken their rides down behind the wall and back to the haulers here, as we do see St. Andrews has rejoined the field and DeForge rejoining the race as well To wait and see what Craig Schroeder does. That crew goes to work trying to get that car put back together and ready to rock and roll here once again, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, as we did see some pit stops here. So some pit strategy, as Matt Hutchinson, our race leader, did go down pit side. About 10 drivers stayed out on the speedway, including James McRae, Brandon Massey, Brandon Sanfilippo, Leroy Koblenz, all stayed out on the racetrack. So our race leader now back in 11th here for the restart. Wood, Morton, Phillips, Wild, Bryce Dickinson, all right there behind him, ready to rock and roll, as they'll be looking to try to work themselves up through the field here. But we'll see how this strategy move plays out, as we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. We'll get a quick word in here from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters.
Alrighty, as we get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The NASCAR Truck Series ready to rock and roll here once again, as our new race leader, James McRae, leads the way here down the back straightaway. He'll get ready for the restart with Brandon Massey there to his outside. Brandon Sanfilippo there behind him with Leroy Koblenz. Ira Colas, Willie McKellar, the 0-1 of Michael Wingo, Brandon Honeycutt, Sam Collis, Gary Wright, our top 10 here on the Speedway. Our race leader before that yellow flag, the 90 rider, Matt Hutchinson, back in the 11th position. We'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he can work himself up through the traffic here that stayed out on the Speedway, is down through the Geico restart zone. A big restart right there for that 7 ride of James McRae, as McRae quickly back onto the lap pedal, looking to open up quite a lead here into corner number 1. Massey going to go right there with them as they're stacked up quite a bit more right here for that about that 8th position on the Speedway, 8th, 9th spot here. You see the 28 of Sam Collis up there is there, 3 wide down the back straightaway. Look out, more drivers coming through. The 22 of Gary Wright, he's stuck right in the middle of a hornet's nest as he's trying to keep himself out of trouble. Everyone trying to work themselves around him. Bryce Dickinson in the 84 ride, working himself up through that traffic quickly as we do see some contact. Oh, the caution flag back onto the Speedway. Gary Wright gets collected. Looked like Alan Wild in there as well. Mark Morton getting some damage here in the 8 ride as the cautions breeding cautions here in the Slingshot Sim Racing Truck Series, as This 22 ride just trying to work himself, trying to keep himself pointed in the right direction. Then him and the 33 are going to make contact here. Down into corner number 1, the 33 gets turned up into the outside fence right over the nose of that 22. Goes almost airborne right there. Luckily enough, able to keep that car on all 4 tires. And then we see leave either the 22 or the 33 comes down the racetrack, and they collect the 8 ride. I believe the 22 comes down here. He's got the front tires locked up, but the car shoots down the speedway, clips the 8 ride of Morton, who we saw up inside the top 5 before that pit stop. He gets quite a bit of damage there on his ride as well, so pretty good contact, some pretty tore up race cars again here at Charlotte Motor Speedways. We'll take another look at it right there. I'm not sure if you could say the 22 came down or the 33 ride came up as they're going through the tri-oval right here. See the 33 coming up trying to get to that lane, but the 22 kind of just staying in that middle lane right there, and unfortunately they just kind of run out of room as the 33 and 22 come together. Hard contact right there for both of those drivers, and then Gary Wright just unfortunately sends it in here and makes pretty good contact with that 8 ride of Morton as Morton slides hard up into the outside fence there himself. Pretty heavy damage for the Bass Pro Shop, number 8 machine, as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll here once again as says get the lead out 87. Cheering on that 87 ride still up in the chat. We love to see this. Brandon Massey running good, running strong out there on the speedway. Currently in that second spot. Was hoping for a better restart right there. Unfortunately, did not get the restart he was looking for. As James McRae was able to open up a quick lead, open up a bit of a gap between himself and the 87, and then never rebound there within that one lap of racing action, as we saw some craziness there as everyone was jumping around, moving around the racetrack, trying to work themselves back up through the field. We did see Hutchinson end up into the 7th position. Shannon Wood there in 8th now. Bryce Dickinson there in 9th, so bring the 84 inside the top 10 as Lane Phillips there in 10th. Then we see Sam Collis trying to hang on to the 28 ride. Jeremy Vaughn there in 12th. James Smith, Ty Dickinson, Matt Taylor, our top 15 here on the speedways. James McRae continues to lead the way. He's got that car pointed in the right direction. It's looked pretty good here all evening long, but will the strategy work out in his favor? He's waited a little bit longer here, where we saw during that last caution flag, we saw some of our leaders come down pit side, make that pit stop. Kind of thought maybe we'd see some more of these race leaders head down pit side this time, but we didn't. So McRae, Massey, Colas, Honeycutt, Sanfilippo, Michael Wingo, all kind of on different strategy calls here, waiting patiently before they head down pit side. So it's going to be interesting to see how this will all play out, where drivers will end up once the dust settles here at Charlotte Motor Speedways. We'll get them ready to rock and roll once again. Mama Bear coming in with the exclamation mark followage. I don't think it worked, Mama Bear. You got one too many L's in followage there, my girl. You got one too many L's up there. As Mama Bear coming in with the exclamation mark followage. If you're watching over on Facebook, you type in exclamation mark followage. It'll tell you exactly how long you've been following Peacemaker Gaming. As John Schmidt coming in with the like on the stream. Debbie DeForge coming in with that thumbs up, as well as my boy Richard said that he's doing great. He's doing great. I love to hear that. Love to hear that, Richard. Love to hear you're doing great. Love to hear that you're having yourself a wonderful day, as we'll get ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments, as lights are still on the official I'm Racing pace car. We're hoping to see those lights go out here this time by the start finish line, as drivers will start to stack up 2 by 2 by 2 here. And look, and yes, there you go. Lights are off the official I Racing pace car, so we will get ready to rock and roll here once again. Yo, Sean's Detail coming in with the like on the stream as well. How are you, Sean? Sean coming in showing the big love here. Is Mama Bear coming in with the exclamation mark followage, coming in with the correct spelling of it this time. The 832 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane. 832 days of being a part of the Peacemaker family. Papa Mike coming in with the 831 days of being a member of the Peacemaker Peacemaker family as well. Mama Bear's got to beat you by one. She's got to beat you by one, doesn't she, Papa Mike? Doesn't she? No, I'm just kidding. 831, 832 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. You know, that's crazy. That's two years and a bit. You know, we're working towards 3 years now, which is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I beat you by one, says Mama Bear. You did. You got him. You got him. You got him by one. You got him by one. That is for certain. That is for certain. But Mama Bear, I don't see Papa Mike's supporter badge anymore, so you could beat him on that one for certain as well. Support. I think it's supportage. If you type in supportage, I think it does the same thing. Or if you type in exclamation mark commands, it should give you all the commands. It probably won't show up on mine because I'm on my gaming page on there, so I can't do it. But if you guys type in those, it should pop up with stuff as well. As we are back to Green Flag Racing, James McRae, another great restart there for the 7 ride as he leads us down the back straight away. Brandon Massey there in second as Massey trying to stick right there to the back bumper of the 7 ride, this time on the restart, and he is there. He's putting the pressure on the 7 machine, maybe looking down low, maybe looking for a lane to jump into the top spot, but they got to be careful as here comes Matt Hutchinson. Hutchinson has been freaky fast all evening long, and that 90 ride making quick work of some of the slower traffic, and he is up into position number 3, already looking to the outside of the 87 ride. My gosh, the new tires on that 90 ride have put him to life, and here he goes looking for the race lead out of corner number 4. He's gonna have it as Matt Hutchinson back to the front of the field. So did not take Matt Hutchinson long to work through traffic, but that puts him up into position number 2. McRae, Massey back in second and third. Bryce Dickinson now up into position number 4 on the Speedway here. So Brycey Bear there in 4th as Ira Cola. Shannon Wood there in 5th and 6th as we see the caution flag coming back out here. So yellow flag coming back out on the Speedway. Looks like Sam Collis, Michael Wingo, James Smith all possibly coming together a little deeper in the field. Let's see if we can get a look at it as Collis and Wingo right here together. Just looks like they get tied together up the racetrack. Smith, unfortunately, just a victim right there as well as he gets collected. Oh, man, tough break right here. I'm not sure how this one transpired. If 01 comes down or the 28 comes up or just some net code. Honestly, looks like net code right there. Just kind of hooks the 28 ride. Let's see if we get another look at it here. Different angle. It's 28 sends it in down low. The 01 comes down a little bit, but I'm not sure if that that might have just been net code that unfortunately hooks the two of them together. As the 01 coming down right there, I mean, it could be net code from the 01 right into that 28 is what it looks like, and then just sends this 28 hard up the Speedway into that outside fence, and then Wingo right there unfortunately bounces off the outside fence, comes back down the racetrack here, and he collects that 10 ride of James Smith, and nowhere to go for Smith right there as he gets pretty good damage, pretty good contact in there, as well as the Baltimore Orioles Dirty Monkey Motorsports Old Bay number 10 ride gets quite a bit of damage as the 01 trying to get pointed back in the right direction. We'll mix things up here once again as we do see some more pit stops. Here we go. The JB's Paint Shop 87 of Brandon Massey heads down pit side. James McRae also down pit road. Looks like McRae will win that race off of pit road as Honeycutt, Massey, Colas, Willie McKellar, Brandon Sanfilippo still down pit side. Leroy Koblench, James Smith, Gary Wright, Michael Wingo. Same call is all down pit side here. We do see Frank Schroeder back out onto the Speedway. Christian St. Andrew still rolling out there. Mark Morton has taken his 8 ride off the racetrack as we do see Cody DeForge rolling out there on the Speedway still. So we're done about 4 cars since the start of this race. A bunch with some heavy damage on the racetrack, but we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Now it's going to be opposite ends here. Some of these drivers that came down pit side a little bit earlier they're going to have a little bit older tires here. So drivers like Matt Hutchinson, Bryce Dickinson, Shannon Wood, Lane Phillips, Jeremy Vaughn, Ty Dickinson, they're drivers that have already came down pit side, had some extra work done to their rides, an extra set of tires. Now we will see if James McRae and Brandon Massey, Brandon Honeycutt, if they can use their newer, fresher tires here. Not very many laps, though. See if they can use them to their advantage to drive right up through the field like Matt Hutchinson just did. As man, Hutchinson was cutting through there like it was butter, and he got to the front of the field pretty easily and took that race lead back away. So we'll have to wait and see if Massey or McRae or any of those other drivers that just came down pit side, if they can find the success that the 90 Brine had there with the fresher equipment on the Speedway. I beat you, says Mama Bear. I beat you, says Mama Bear, coming in with the 21 months of being a subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane. 21 months of being a subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming. Papa Mike coming in with the 18 mother fluffing months as well. That is absolutely insane. Can't thank you guys enough. Mama Bear, Papa Mike, I appreciate you guys coming in, showing the love here, and for such long times, man. 18 months, 21 months, like we're looking at, that's a year and a half. That's almost 2 years of, showing the love and being a part of the family, being a part of the Peacemaker crew, and being a part of the Peacemaker sub club. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Ty coming in with the exclamation mark followage as well with the 840 days. Says, do I win? Well, you definitely beat Mama Bear and Papa Mike by about a week. You definitely beat them, but there could be other people watching that might be able to beat you, Ty. They might be able to meet you. I'm not going to lie. We've been around for quite a while, but I don't know. I think they both got you on that supporter badge, though. I think they both got you on the supporter badge. Papa Mike, Mama Bear has got you beat. Yeah, she got you beat a couple times already, Papa Mike. Jeepers. She's got you in a stranglehold here, Papa Mike. Come on now. You can't let that happen. No, I'm just kidding. Let me see, Ty. Let me see if I can beat if I can beat you. Let me see here. Jump on my cell phone and try it out. Oh, I think I win. Listen, there's people that follow us that can still beat that number that I just popped in there. But, shout out Aaron Woods with the 1,315 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. My gosh. Woo! We've been doing it for a little while, chat. We've been doing it for a while. Whether it's been iRacing, broadcasting, or professional Call of Duty and playing Fortnite and other games as well. We've been here for a long time, and we continue to be here for a very, very long time. Hopefully, we can keep on going farther and farther and farther up. Continue to build and build and build. And every single like, comment, share helps us do that on every single broadcast. As out in front, we see that restart. Here is Matt Hutchinson. Quickly back onto the loud pedal here as Hutchinson leads the way. Bryce Dickinson right there in position number 2 is Shannon Wood trying to work himself around Lane Phillips for that third spot. As Lane Phillips and Wood battle door to door, you see Brycey Bear right to the back bumper here of our race leaders, the E&D Farms, House of Speed, Papa Mike Promotions, Team Conti Sim Performance. Number 84 ride hanging strong here in position number 2. Lane Phillips trying to use that outside lane to join his teammate here inside the top 3, and he'll make it work down here into quarter number 1. So move Phillips there into third as Shannon Wood back there in 4th. Jeremy Vaughn there in 5th, and Ty Dickinson rolling there in 6th. But here comes James McRae. So McRae with the fresher tires here on the field. He's working himself back up through the traffic. The 7 truck down low, trying to move himself into that 6th position. Now trying to work underneath the Jeremy Vaughn for that 5th spot on the Speedway. But, Ty Dickinson, Jeremy Vaughn not going to give up those spots easily. But McRae able to work that inside lane here to put himself in a good position. A couple drivers getting loose there out at corner number 2. It's Matt Taylor there in position number 8. One of the newer NLR 5.6 graphics graphics, House of Speed Machines out there on the Speedway. Is Alan Wild there in 9th, Brandon Massey back there in 10th. We haven't seen Massey really been able to work himself up through the traffic like we have McRae, as McRae up into position number 6 here, battling door to door with the 3 ride of Jeremy Vaughn for the 5th position on the racetrack. Massey still hanging out back there at about the 9th spot, working underneath of Matt Taylor now for position number 8. So McRae's been able to work through a little bit quicker, but kind of stalled out here underneath this 3 ride of Jeremy Vaughn, as that's allowed Matt Hutchinson to open up a little bit of a lead with Bryce Dickinson right there in 2nd. Shannon Wood and Lane Phillips now battling here for the 4th and 3rd position once again, and you see that 2 ride down low. Lane Phillips using the outside lane will keep that 3rd spot here for himself, as slowly but surely as they've been battling, we've seen them getting chased down here a little bit as McRae down low looking to clear Jeremy Vaughn through quarter number 3 and 4, and he's going to do it. So McRae finally clears that 3 ride back into that 5th position. Now going to have to go after the 2 of Shannon Wood, the 6 of Lane Phillips right there in front of him, as Brandon Massey now up into 7th. He's worked himself around the 67 of Ty Dickinson, as Ty right there in position number 8. Brandon Sanfilippo door to door here with the 15 of Matt Taylor. This is for the 9th and 10th position on the Speedway, as William McKellar, Alan Wild on the outside of the top 10 looking in. Ira Colas there in 13th. Brandon Honeycutt there in 14th. Gary Wright rounding out our top 15 here on the Speedway. Leroy Koblenz back there in the 16th spot with James Smith there in 17th. Craig Schroeder back out onto the racetrack. He's there in the 18th spot, as Michael Wingo down pit side here in the 0-1 ride still. Christian St. Andrews there in 20th, rolling back out onto the racetrack. Sam Collis has taken his ride off the Speedway. So has it Mark Morton. Cody DeForge still rolling out on the Speedway. So good to see DeForge not giving up here on the evening as he continues to roll some laps, gaining some positions here as other drivers fall out of the race. He has some time to make up. He's got a lot of laps to make up, but the earlier that they can crash out, the more points that he could potentially leapfrog and get back here on the Speedway. Papa Mike says the GOAT, hashtag the GOAT to our exclamation mark followage. Bumba Bear coming in with the wow as well, the wow. Yeah, that's a big wow right there. 1,315 days for Aaron Woods being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane. And as I said, there's some followers out there that are have more days of being a follower than that 13-15. So that's pretty impressive, and be pretty interesting to see if any of the OG followers from back in the day will hop in here at any moment in time and see that, and see if they will throw their name into the ring for one of those top followers here, man. 1,300 days, my gosh. We've been doing this for going on almost 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, almost 4 years. We created the page, I think, towards the end of September. I want to say of 2020. Yeah, I want to say of 2020 or 2019. It was either 2019 or 2020. We ended up, biting the bullet. We bought a PC, everything else to play more Call of Duty with the professional level of being able to stream it and be able to play in tournaments that need us to, regardlessly have the stream going. So we bit the bullet. We bought the PC and all the equipment that we needed for it and everything else. And, ever since then, I think at first, I was trying it with a laptop, and it just really wasn't working. I tried to go live a couple times, and it didn't really work. So I think I created the page towards the end of September. I don't think I really had my first official stream that was longer than like 20 or 30 minutes trying to figure out audio stuff and everything else. It was probably about November, end of November-ish area. So I normally say end of November is our close to our anniversary, but really we created the page in September. But I'd say September of 2020 is when we got things going over there on Facebook Gaming, and started to grow slowly but surely, and continue to do some cool things, and hoping to continue to keep on growing like crazy. I wish Facebook would continue being as good as it was in the beginning. Unfortunately, Facebook has really gotten gotten rough over the last couple of years. They do not really show much love to creators or anything anymore, unless if you're doing short form content like reels all the time. But even then, they don't really show a whole lot of love and support there for creators. So it kind of sucks. It's kind of on the downfall. I've seen continuously more and more creators over on Facebook dropping out of Facebook, leaving the Facebook world of gaming and going to a different place, whether or not it's been YouTube or back over to Twitch, or some of them going to Kick as well. You know, they've been going to different venues, and I mean, and true say, I mean, I do the exact same thing. We're also live over on Twitch right now. We're also live over on YouTube. I've always been, you know, one of the guys that wanted to multi-stream because I don't like having all my eggs in one basket, right? We can, you know, pull in, you know, viewers from all over the place, and could be over on Twitch one day goes really good, or YouTube one day goes really good, or Facebook. You know, you don't want to just be right there. As we do see this battle at the front of the field starting to build up once again. James McRae looking to take this race lead back away from Matt Hutchinson. So that later pit stop, a little bit fresher up tires, possibly paying off here as James McRae works himself around the 90 right of Matt Hutchinson. Hutchinson back to second, McRae back to our race lead as they exchange that first and second spot here once again on the evening. Lane Phillips back there hanging on to position number 3 as Shannon Wood there in 4th. You see Brandon Massey, his fresher tires, he's rolling here to the back bumper of that 2 Ryan, trying to put himself up inside the top 4 and looking for more as Willie McKellar back there in 6th. Brandon Sanfilippo there in 7th as Ira Colas back in 8th. Jeremy Vaughn in position number 9 with Brandon Honeycutt rounding out our top 10. Bryce Dickinson has slid all the way back now to the 11th position as Ty Dickinson right there behind him in 12th. Alan Wild, Gary Wright, Matt Taylor, our top 15 here on the Speedway as Colblint, Smith, Schroeder, St. Andrews, Cody DeForge, Michael Wingo round out our top 21 on the Speedway. But right now it's all James McRae playing a little bit of strategy. You can see those fresher tires paying off as he is pulling away. He's got that fresh air now to the front of that 7 ride, and he's starting to open up a gap as Hutchinson sliding backwards here. It's not in that race lead anymore, and now a second behind our race leader. So James McRae looking to try to maybe run away with this one as William McKellar making some moves. McKellar was just back in the 6th position. McKellar now finds himself into position number 3 as he made quick work of Shannon Wood, Lane Phillips, and Brandon Massey to put himself up into position number 3. Now here comes Brandon Sanfilippo and Ira Colas as well, as they're right there in that fight. As our top 8, you can almost throw a blanket over them, besides our race leader, James McRae, who continues to stretch out that lead more and more and more here on the racetrack. It's a great battle still right around our top 5 as the 6th ride of Lane Phillips trying to hang on to position number 5. Here's got Shannon Wood, Brandon Massey surrounding him here on the Speedway as we hit just about our halfway in and halfway to go here on the evening with lap number 60 of 120, this time by the start-finish line. So as we're halfway in and halfway to go, we'll jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. Crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. The curse continues here on Peacemaker Gaming. The Crank It Up caution flag will be displayed here as we were just getting into the Crank It Up, halfway in and halfway to go here on the race, and we see our 4th caution flag here on the evening as yellow flag being displayed, the crank it up, caution flag in full effect here once again, as we will take another look at, as we did see Shannon Wood unfortunately going around right there. The two ride having such a great day up inside the top 5 here all evening long, and then just a little bit of contact, all it takes down here through corner number 3 and 4. We got a great look at it as right here the 16 gets a big run, just gets to that back bumper of the two ride, just unfortunately clips the right hand side of it and just jacks that truck up and spins that two ride around. Sanfilippo trying to keep himself out of trouble. The 29 ride nowhere to go there, gets nose right into the front end of that two machine of Shannon Wood. Some pretty good damage there for Shannon Wood as well, so a tough break for the two ride, tough break for the 29. A Colas there as well, as definitely not the way they wanted things to go right there. Is having a good run, having a good drive, and just that little bit of contact was enough to cause that two ride to go around. We'll take a look at it right there, just into that right rear back bumper there, just enough to knock him around and spin that car sliding here. And the 16 goes for a bit of a slide here himself as well, as the 16 try to keep himself out of trouble, was able to catch that car and able to keep it for the most part out of the fence, but does get a little bit of damage right there, but able to catch it and keep it there out of major issues as these drivers head down pit side and get worked on to their rides. We saw pretty much the entire field down pit road right there. Not a lot of drivers stayed out on the speedway, but we do see Collis down there getting work done. We do see the two ride also down getting some extensive work done for Shannon Wood as we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. James McRae leads the way with Willie McKellar there in second. Matt Hutchinson in third with Lane Phillips, Jeremy Vaughn, Brandon Massey, Brandon Honeycutt, Alan Wild, Bryce Dickinson, and Gary Wright, our top 10 here on the Speedway. So we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing after our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up caution flag strikes again here on the channel, as man, we can never catch a break with those. That curse, I don't think that curse is ever gonna leave us, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that curse is ever gonna go away. My gosh, I mean, I wish we would have kept score of how many times that's happened to us over my iRacing broadcasting career, because I think we gotta be, we got to be at least, triple to 4 digits now. We got to be close to 4 digits. The amount of times that's happened, it's got to be pretty dang close. It's got to be pretty dang close, at least 1,000 times. And that's probably happened where pretty much instantly, as soon as we go to our crank it up, the caution flag ensues, like, less than a lap before or less than a lap after. I can't plan for it. I don't see the future, but for some reason or another, I mean, we're just cursed. We're just cursed. We're trying to crank it up. We got to crank it right back down and go through caution flags. It's very, very interesting. 84 is ready for bed, says Bryce Dickinson. The 84 is ready for bed. Well, no, you can sleep when you're dead, Bryce. You can sleep when you're dead, brother. There's tons of time for rest afterwards, okay? There's racing to be had still. There's race to be had still. Get yourself, what you got to do, if you're tired out there on the racetrack, you're trying to wake yourself up, you're feeling a little fatigued behind the wheel, what you really need is to get yourself a beautiful can of Monster Energy drink. You get some of this into your system, and oh man, you just wake right up. Oh, that is good. That is good right there, ladies and gentlemen. Monster Energy keeping us hydrated, keeping us energized here for each and every single broadcast here on Peacemaker Gaming as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. James McRae out in front leading the field. McRae out in front, McKellar there in second. Matt Hutchinson in position number 3 here for the restart with Lane Phillips, Jeremy Vaughn. Our top 5 here on the racetrack is Brandon Massey there in 6. Brandon Honeycutt, Alan Wild, Bryce Dickinson, Gary Wright, our top 10 here on the Speedway. Brandon Sanfilippo, Matt Taylor, Leroy Koblenz, Ty Dickinson, James McRae. Our top 15, Ira Cole is back there in 16th. Shannon Wood, Craig Schroeder, Christian St. Andrew, Cody DeForge, our top 20 here on the racetrack as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Down through the Geico restart zone, we see the green flag fly here once again as the 7 rider McRae, a great launch and a great restart there as the 7 machine quickly onto the lap pedal. James McRae out in front, leading the way is Matt Hutchinson going to slide quickly into position number 2 as McKenna up on the high side, slides back into 3rd here on that outside lane. Lane Phillips right there trying to take a peek down to his inside and Brandon Massey there in 5th. The 3 of Jeremy Vaughn back in 6th as things quickly get a little bit more single file here, but drivers trying to figure out where they can make some passes. Hang on to it, the 40. Bless me, I sneeze, ladies and gentlemen. The 42 of Leroy Koblenz. My gosh. They're in the 16th position, really having to hang on to it there. He got very squirrely out of corner number 2. No caution flag. We keep it green flag racing here on the racetrack, but a top break right there as he is deep in the field as Matt Hutchinson has also worked himself back around the 7 right and back to this race lead. So McRae in position number 2 now has McKellar and Phillips right there behind him as here comes Brandon Massey. Massey up into the 5th position as my boy Justin JT coming in, showing the love as well, coming in here on the broadcast. Says, Aaron, what's good, Justin? What's good, my boy? Bryce says, I got a bedtime. Oh my gosh. Bear says, I bet you do when you have to work. I have to be at work by 4 a.m. You just don't sleep, Mama Bear. You just don't sleep. You stay up till 4 a.m. You go to work. You take a nap after. That's the way they'll do it. That's the way. That's how you gotta do it. That's how you gotta do it, Mama Bear. At least that's how I do it. You know, I don't work at 4 a.m. When I do work, it's like 7 a.m. But I sleep. I go to bed at like, I don't know, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then get up for 7 a.m. or 6:30, and yeah, it's rough some days, but when you're busy, you know, you're streaming, you're editing, you're doing things, you know, you're having fun. Unfortunately, you know, sleep is on the back shelf. Sleep is on the back shelf. Yeah, poor Brycey Bear. Yeah, he works hard. Unfortunately, I wish he didn't work so much, and he didn't work so hard. He'd be doing some more iRacing or playing more Call of Duty or anything else. Yo, what's good, Matthew? What's good, my boy? Mr. Glenn coming in, showing the love as well. Matthew coming in, dropping the thumbs up, says, yo, my guy. Yo, Matthew, what's good, Mr. Glenn? How are you, brother? Papa Mike says, take a nap in the cooler, Bryce. Yeah, see, Papa Mike gets it. There's tons of time to find naps out there, whether you're at work or not at work. There's tons of places you can take naps. As Matt Hutchinson leads the way here, he's not napping at the front of the field. He is locked in and loaded here, trying to pick up the win on the evening. Hutchinson rolls out in front with McKellar there in 2nd. James McRae there in 3rd. Lane Phillips in position number 4 with Jeremy Vaughn there in that 5th spot. As Brandon Massey slides back to 6th, he's got Alan Wild right there behind him. Bryce Dickinson in the END Farms. Papa Mike promotion center speed 84 ride there in 8th. Brandon Honeycutt there in 9th. He's got Gary right there on his back bumper, rounding out our top 10. Ty Dickinson back in the 11th position with Matt Taylor there in 12th. Brandon Sanfilippo trying to hang on to the 13th spot here as the 2 ride is going to roll right around him, but here comes Ira Colas in the 29 and James Smith there in the 10 ride as they roll around that 16 machine. Shannon Wood, unfortunately, is the first car 1 lap down back there in that 2 machine as Leroy Koblenz back here in 16th off the pace after having that close call on the restart. Unfortunately, deep in the field right now. Frank Stroger a few laps down out there in the 56. He rolls in the 18th position. The 23 ride of Christian St. Andrews right there as well as Cody DeForge, as some of our drivers that are down multiple laps but still out there on the speedway, learning more things, having some fun out there on the racetrack and enjoying the racing here on the evening. As out in front, Matt Hutchinson leads the way as we will jump into our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up this time. Hopefully, no caution flags. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on
Peacemaker game.
race leader of the evening. The number 75 of William McKellar jumping up and taking this race lead away during our crank it up session right there. McKellar puts himself into the top spot as the 75 leads the way. The 6 of Lane Phillips there in second as the 7 of James McRae there in position number 3. Brandon Massey now up into the 4th spot on the Speedway as Bryce Dickinson there in 5th as Brandon Honeycutt right there behind him in that 6th spot on the Speedway. Jeremy Vaughn there in 7th with Alan Wild, Ira Colas, Ty Dickinson rounding out our top 10 as Matt Taylor, Gary Wright, James Smith, Brandon Sanfilippo, Matt Hutchinson back there rounding out our top 15 as Shannon Wood there in 16th. Leroy Colblins, Craig Schroeder, Christian St. Andrew, Cody DeForge, and Michael Wengo rounding out our top 21 is unfortunately Sam Collis, Mark Morton, John Fowler, Alexander DeForge, Jordan LaFawn all off the Speedway. So 5 drivers have been eliminated here from the race, but we still got 21 drivers duking it out here on the Speedway as green flag pit stops have slowly but surely started to roll, but we see the caution flag fly. The worst thing possible for Matt Hutchinson as he also gets collected in it. Oh no, Hutchinson trying to pull a strategy move. He was one of the first drivers to come down for a green flag pit stop. And unfortunately, I think this one may take him out of contention for the race win as Bryce Dickinson running into issues in the 84 ride here. Brycey Bear, oh no. Looks like him and the 87 going to come together here as they're trying to roll around some of the lap traffic there with Schroeder right there in front of them. Massey down low, just gets tight, washes up the track there just a little bit, then trying to avoid contact with the 56. He has to roll out of the throttle a little bit sideways there through corner number 4. He checks up, and as he does, the 84 rider Bryce Dickinson closes that gap, I think a little quicker than he was anticipating. Gets to his back bumper, pushes him up the Speedway, and then trying to just race each other door to door. It just doesn't quite work out. They make a little bit more contact, and fortunately, Bryce just loses the handle of this 84 ride. Jumps him and the 87 back together. Massey hard up into the outside fence there himself. Heavy damage there for Massey as you see the 3 of Jeremy Vaughn trying to get around it there. He's trying to get checked up. He does get a little piece of Bryce Dickinson as they're all checking up. They're all wrecking here down the front straightaway. Bryce still trying to hang on to it, trying to keep that truck pointed in the right direction. Finally, he loses the handle of it, and then I believe here comes Matt Hutchinson head on with the 84 Bryce Dickinson, and oh, that may be all she wrote there for Bryce and for Matt Hutchinson there on the racetrack. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Bryce Dickinson and see if we can see everything that happens here as he closes that gap, sees the 87 in front of him, get tight, starts to close that gap. Unfortunately, makes the contact there with Massey, and then all hell breaks loose right there. There's that little bit of contact, and then they make a little bit more on corner exit, and he's just trying to hang on to it and trying to keep that car pointing in the right direction. More contact from the 3, gets him back out of shape again. Gets spun around, and this is a scary sight as he turns back around. Here comes the 90 ride. Oh man, that is a scary sight right there as man, oh man, oh man. Bryce Dickinson just truck finally goes around, gets turned around here, pointing in the wrong direction, then out of nowhere, he goes, bam! Right head on with him. Oh, that is a tough hit right there. The tough break. Not a lot he can do. Can barely see him, then all of a sudden, here comes that ATL machine of Hutchinson right head on with Bryce Dickinson. Luckily enough, a lot of other drivers able to escape any additional carnage or damage there in that wreck. But unfortunately for Bryce Dickinson, Matt Hutchinson, and the 87 of Brandon Massey, they all end up with a lot of damage on their rides. Let's see if we can get a look here from Matt Hutchinson's perspective as he had finally went down pit side. He was one of the first drivers on this pit strategy, trying to use that to his advantage here. And unfortunately, it just doesn't work out for him as he's smoke in front of him and just fortunately didn't roll out of the throttle until it was too late, as he was trying to make some moves here, trying to gain a few spots before the yellow flag, and fortunately for him, he finds that 84 rider Bryce Dickinson right there. That's a tough hit. Tough hit for the 90, tough hit for the 84 and the 87 here. Let's see if we can take a look here from Brandon Massey, see what he can see on the racetrack here for this 87 rider. See him loose there, a little contact with the 84, then they make contact again and then again, and shoves him hard up into the outside fence there. Heavy right front damage for the 87 rider Massey, and Massey just going to try to roll through here, going to drive down and around the 84, and then more carnage back there behind him, but unfortunately, that may be enough to take him out of contention here on the evening, as well as out in front. Leading the way, the 6 rider Lane Phillips will be our race leader. Brandon Honeycutt in second, James McRae coming out in third here as Alan Wild, Ira Colas, our top 5, Gary Wright, Brandon Sanfilippo, James Smith, Jeremy Vaughn, Ty Dickinson, our top 10 here on the racetrack, as Willie McKellar back there in 11th, Shannon Wood, Matt Taylor, our top 13. Brandon Massey down pit road getting repairs done to the 87 riders. Craig Schroeder, I do believe, has taken his car off the speedway, so hasn't Bryce Dickinson. Matt Hutchinson also taking his ride down and off the racetrack, as Leroy Koblenz, I believe, also off the speedway. The 23 of Christian St. Andrew still rolling out there. Same with Cody DeForge and Michael Wingo. So a few drivers still rolling out there on the speedway, but there's a lot of drivers that have left the building here, including Leroy Koblenz, Matt Hutchinson, Bryce Dickinson. All have left the building. Craig Schroeder also off the racetrack, I do believe. Nope, Craig Schroeder still rolling out there, so good to see Craig still. But Bryce Dickinson, Matt Hutchinson, Leroy Koblenz, Sam Collis, Mark Morton, John Fowler, Xander DeForge, Jordan LaFawn, all drivers that have been parked here on the evening have taken their rides back behind pit wall and back to the haulers here. So that's a good 8 drivers now back behind the wall, especially when you look at the evening. Bryce Dickinson was having such a great day. Matt Hutchinson led a ton of laps here on the evening. You look down pit side, you still see Brandon Massey with a ton of damage and still parked down on pit road as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. You see a lot of drivers that are still out there on the racetrack after having a lot of damage, as the 6 machine of Lane Phillips with a great restart gets a pretty good jump here as Brandon Honeycutt trying to stay there in position number 2. He's got the 7 ride of James McRae all over his back bumper. 33, Alan Wild right there ready to strike. Ira Colas up inside the top 5 here in that 29 ride. Gary right there in 6 with Sanfilippo, James Smith, Jeremy Vaughn, Ty Dickinson up inside the top 10. Here comes William McKellar. He was our race leader there before the caution flag, did not get a great pit stop. He is back in position number 11 right now, trying to work himself back inside the top 10, but surrounded by a bunch of good competitors out there on the speedway. Sheena Wood there in 12th with Matt Taylor rounding out our top 13, and he is the last driver on the lead lap here this evening. So Matt Taylor in 13th is the last lead lap driver. Everybody else is either off of the speedway or down pit side, as we do see Christian St. Andrews head back down pit side. Brandon Massey still down there as well. So tough break there for a lot of great drivers on the evening. Got started right out of the get-go, as a lot of these guys ran into some big issues out there on the racetrack. Lane Phillips, though, leads the way here as the 6 machine out in front. Phillips showing him how to get it done here late in this race, as he'll roll down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4. Down across the line, he will see only 18 more laps left to go here. Only 18 more laps for these drivers, as Bryce says, "Fuck, my bad," he says. Unfortunate break, Bryce, but you know what, brother? It happens, Brycey Bear, unfortunately, but Will Bear says, well, that sucks. That does suck. That does suck for Brycey Bear. I mean, he was having such a good run, such a great drive there, and to have it end just as quickly as it almost started there, you know, that one happened in a heartbeat down the front straightaway, and unfortunately now off the speedway. But hey, good news, Brycey Bear can now not only tune into the stream and watch the broadcast, but Brycey Bear can also get prepped and ready and maybe crawl into bed and get ready for bed this season. He's got to work in 6 hours or something like that. 6 hours, 7 hours. guess you guys are probably central time zones, so it would be like 9:30 right now. So he's still got lots of time before he's got to go to bed. Lots of time before bed. He's not past his bedtime yet. Come on now, Brycey Bear is out in front. His teammate, the House of Speed, MLR, Papa Mike Promotions, the Grip Hackney Live, Team Conti.gg, number 6 machine, Elaine Phillips leads the way. Phillips out in front, showing him how to get it done here in this one. But right there behind him, James McRae, he's led a lot of laps here on the evening as well. We've seen this 7 ride have some great speed, and here he is rolling in position number 2, trying to catch up to our race leader. Brandon Honeycutt up inside the top 3 with Alan Wild there in 4th. William McKellar back up inside the top 5 here for that 75. So the Voltec Fallout New Vegas number 75 machine there in the 5th position. He's looking to work himself back up towards the race lead before the end of the evening. Ira Colt's having a great run there in 6th with Brandon Sanfilippo there in 7th. Gary Wright up 19 positions from where he started here on the evening. Started back at the rear of the field. Technically being scored as the 27th starter here on the evening. That is the last driver on the racetrack for the 22 of Gary Wright. And here he is up inside the top 10, battling here for an 8th place finish as Ty Dickinson there in 9th, right where he started, looking to finish right there in the 9th spot, hoping to get a little bit quicker here in these closing laps, maybe work himself up towards the top 5. James Smith there in 10th, as Shannon Wood there in 7th. Jeremy Vaughn back in position number 12 with Matt Taylor there in 13th. Frank Schroeder rolling out there currently in that 14th position. Brandon Massey rolling back out onto the racetrack here as he rolls in that 15th position. Dickinson, Hutchinson, Coldblance off the speedway. Christian St. Andrews down pit side with Cody DeForge still rolling out there himself, and Michael Wingo still in the field as well. So a lot of drivers, even though they're lots of laps down, still out there running, having some fun on the racetrack. As the lore legend says, staying out of this one. Lap 2 was rough, man. Ruined my whole race. Great stream, brother. I appreciate you. The lore legend coming in, showing the love. Lap 2 was a tough one. Now, if I'm looking through lap 2, I'm assuming that the lore legend is that possibly either Jordan LaFawn or Alexander DeForge, maybe Cody DeForge. I'm trying to think of who got tied up on lap number 2. I'm assuming that would be either Cody DeForge or Jordan LaFawn down in corner number 1. I believe that was our second lap caution flag. Our second caution flag, though, took out St. Andrews and Xander DeForge and a few others as Christian St. Andrews. That's it. I thought that's kind of who it was. Lap 2 wasn't too bad. Did you get contact? Oh, yeah, you did get contact there a little bit. Yeah, that's right. You were collected in that one. Yeah, lap 2 was definitely a tough break for everyone involved. Obviously, we see, Christian still rolling out there, or at least down pit side. Rolled for a lot of laps, ended up with the top 20 at least, but, we see Cody DeForge, who was collected in that. Jordan LaFawn called it a night right after that one. Some tough breaks right there as dude didn't check up lap out loud. Yeah, unfortunately, it happens. We've seen a lot of drivers get tore up here on the evening. I'm sure we'll see that a lot more in a lot of other races. As out in front, the battle for the lead rages on here. Is out in front. Lane Phillips trying to hang on to this top spot down across the line. He will see 9 more laps left to go. 9 more laps here for Lane Phillips to maybe pick up the checkered flag. James McRae working to his outside. Brandon Honeycutt there in position number 3 with Alan Wyatt back there in 4th. Willie McKellar there in 5th. Brandon Sanfilippo there in 6th with Ira Colas, Gary Wright, Ty Dickinson, Shannon Wood rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway as McKellar trying to close that gap here on the 33 of Alan Wild for position number 4. Sanfilippo right there with them as they're trying to work themselves up through the field. They came down pit side late in this race where a lot of other drivers did not come down pit side, so it's going to be a pretty interesting one right down to the very end. It may be a nail-biter here at Charlotte Motor Speedway as the 6 of Lane Phillips leads the way. The 7 of James McRae right there behind him, ready to pounce, and Brandon Honeycutt Don't count out Honeycutt here as the Pals machine right there ready to bounce. In that third spot, the 13 hanging right there with them, not letting those top two drivers run away with it as they are ready to make some moves, ready to put themselves into a great fight here at the front of the field. Staying in the pits, Laugh It Loud, no tires. Laugh It Loud don't want to ruin anyone's race. We respect that. We respect that decision right there. The lower ledge coming in, show the big love here in this one as you see that pass down low. James McRae looking to clear the 6th ride of Lane Phillips. They go door to door down across the line. It's still Lane Phillips in front here, but here comes the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt. Honeycutt right there as they go door to door for our race lead late in this one. Only 6 more laps left to go down the back straightaway. The 7 ride of James McRae looking to take this race lead away from Lane Phillips. Phillips trying to hang on here to the top spot as the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt washes up the racetrack here. It's going to get tight off corner number 4. A good run, though, for McRae as they go door to door again down across the line. They get the high five there from our flagman. Only 5 more laps left to go as the 7 drives it in deep. The 6 right there with them. They are not giving up. They're not backing down. Neither driver is going to give an inch here down the back straightaway. As the 7 right loses a little bit of ground, but still staying right there to that left rear quarter panel. But a good run through the middle for the 6 ride. He may clear that 7 of James McRae at a quarter number 4. He does, and McRae able to close the gap on the 13 ride of Brandon Honeycutt. Able to close the door right there and keep that 13 back there in third, as that would have been the best case scenario for the 6 machine of Lane Phillips, as if the 7 and the 13 would start battling door to door for position number 2. It may be enough to give him the advantage to kind of run away with it, as the 13 now looking down low on the 7. This is exactly what the 6 ride may need to pick up the win. If they can battle, drag each other back just a little bit, may open up a few car length lead, but lap traffic in there. Around goes the 0-1, around goes Lane Phillips. Lap traffic coming into play. Lane Phillips around. James McRae collected heavy damage for our race leaders as the caution flag flies. The 0-1 ride of Michael Wingo. Not sure what he was doing, but our race leaders got up to him in a quick hurry here for a driver that is multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. You can see the gap that they're back about 10 car lengths out of quarter number 4 and down the straightaway. Looks like he tries to pull over to just kind of get out of their way, but then washes back up right in front of them. Nowhere to go for Lane Phillips as he drives into the back end of that 0-1 ride. Nowhere to go for McRae as well as he slams into him, and then McRae and the 6 come together. They both wash up the racetrack, and oh brother, this one is going to be a tough one for these drivers all into it here, and I'm sure they're going to be not very happy, and for good reason here, that they should not be very happy with what was going on here. I'm not sure what the thought was for the 0-1 ride. Yeah, he's way off the pace, pulls right up in front of the race leaders, and nowhere for them to go. That is a tough one right there. Damn, man, he says, hell of a race, though. Yeah, that was a hell of a race right there. And the 0-1 is the one who put me out. Yeah, the 0-1 was definitely the one who put you out. I'm not sure who that guy is. It's his first race in the league, and I'm not sure. It may be his last one after that one right there. I'm not 100% sure on the official calls that may be called, but I can tell you right now that Lane Phillips and the 7 rider James McRae are not going to be very happy with it, as we'll jump on board here with this 0-1 ride and see what he sees here, as take a look and listen as he moves down the front straightaway. See, so like, he's out of the throttle. He's slowed down. He slows down. He knows the leaders are coming, so he comes out of the corner here. In the gas. And then right there, he slows down. You can hear the truck. He lets off the throttle. And then just cruises here. Launches right back up in front of him. Yeah, these boys are not going to be very happy with this one. Lap traffic, a driver that's multiple laps down, creating an incident like this on the Speedway. They are going to be fuming out there on the racetrack. Take a look at our race leader here. 6th rider Lane Phillips as he's running into him. Catches up, not expecting to catch up this quickly, and then wondering what he's doing. Unfortunately gets tied up in it. Heavy damage for him at Gray. Wingo down pit side. Hopefully stays there for the rest of the evening, as now out in front, the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt leads the way. Willie McKellar will end up in 2nd here. Alan Wild there in 3rd with Brandon Sanfilippo will be in that 4th position on the Speedway. Ira Collis there in 5th. Jeremy Vaughn up into 6th. As Gary Wright, Ty Dickinson, Shannon Wood, James Smith round out our top 10. Matt Taylor, Lane Phillips, Craig Schroeder, James McRae, and Brandon Massey are top 15 here on the Speedway. As 01 is the one who put me out, laugh out loud, caused multiple wrecks, laugh out loud. Yes, I have noticed that as well. I'm sure the Discord right now is absolutely fuming out there on the racetrack. As Momo Bear says, "Wow, yeah, that was a big wow right there." Tough break there. As Ty says, he told the lap car to stay high. Not your race, not your place. Yeah, I guess so. Told the lap car to stay high. Who told the lap car to stay high? That seems like an interesting move right there. Unfortunate for Lane Phillips, but I don't know if that was his call or if he was trying to get there as quickly as possible or what. But bet there was words were said. Yeah, there was definitely words said for certain. I'm sure there was definitely words said right there. As I just don't know why he slowed down on the straightaway there. I mean, he was 10-15 car lengths in front of our race leaders. I mean, he could have met them in the corner or down the back straightaway without letting off the throttle, and then just unfortunately for our race leaders getting tied up. Lap traffic, part of the game, unfortunately, as out in front, Brandon Honeycutt will get ready for the restart here. Honeycutt out in front, McKellar there in 2nd. We'll start on the inside. Alan Wild, Brandon Sanfilippo. The 29 of Ira Collis, our top 5. Jeremy Vaughn there in 6th. Then we see Gary Wright, Ty Dickinson. The 2 of Shannon Wood, James Smith, our top 10. Matt Taylor there in 11th. Then we see Lane Phillips still scored in the 12th position, as Frank Schroeder multiple laps down back there in the 13th position, looking to leapfrog that 6th ride, maybe finish off with a top 12 here. And we see the 24 of Cody DeForge continue to gain positions as well. We're getting tied up in that first lap, or the second lap wreck on the evening. Was able to get back out there on the racetrack, continue to run some laps, and he slowly but surely gained more and more positions. Could have called it an evening, could have ended up 25th, 26th position, but here he is right now running in the 16th spot on the Speedway. As we go down through the Geico restart zone, we go back to Green Flag Racing as the 13 ride of Brandon Honeycutt. It's a great jump here over Willie McKellar. McKellar trying to get right there to his back bumper as things get spread out in a quick hurry down the corner number 1 and 2, as everyone trying to keep themselves out of trouble. But we did see a couple drivers run into trouble here on the restart going down through the infield, as some contact here. Looks like a couple drivers getting together. I'm not sure where this one starts, but I think the 33 Alan Wild might have been one of those first drivers in there. He just looks like he blows the tires off it. You'll see the 16 get up into the outside fence there. Looks like both drivers spin those tires. The 3 of Vaughn gets up into the fence. The 29 rider Cole is up into the fence. The 2 rider Shannon Wood hard into that number 33 ride, spinning him down through the infield. You see Gary Wright down through the infield there as well. James Smith trying to work himself through it. Matt Taylor going right there through it. And Ty Dickinson finding a seam right there. And Ty working himself right into position number 4, as out in front we see that checkered flag fly here. The checkered flag has been displayed as a quick one, as out in front this final lap. The 13 ride Brandon Honeycutt, he sees the white flag fly quickly down here through the tri-oval as Brandon Honeycutt did not want to see that caution flag. Luckily enough, all those drivers that got tied up during that restart stayed out on the racetrack, kept pointed in the right direction. He gets a great run down through corner number 1 and out of corner number 2 there as the 75 of McKellar tries to hunt him down. Brandon Honeycutt nice and easy through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. We talked about him there before that last caution flag. He was right there within striking distance in the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt. Picks up the checkered flag and parks his ride up in victory lane. McKellar will come home in second. Brandon Sanfilippo there in third. Ty Dickinson up in the chat says ran out of fuel coming to the checkered. Yikes. That was a close call right there for the Sweet Tea Gang ride as Ty comes home in fourth, and Jeremy Vaughn with a solid top 5 run. But it's all Brandon Honeycutt here as he burns down the house at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt who picks up the win here on the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for that 13 ride as he parks it up in the victory lane. What a run and what a drive right there for Brandon Honeycutt here on the evening. Wowzers, what a run, what a race right there for the Elizabethton, Tennessee driver here this evening as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth after what was a bit of a wild race there, especially at the end of this one. To wait and see. We do see McKellar in the booth here. He's in the waiting room. We'll have to wait and see if we can get our top 3 into the waiting room as well. I do see Gary Wright in there, but I think McKellar is the only driver I see in the top 3 waiting room. He's the only driver I see in the Discord. That race was insane, man. Yeah, that race was definitely insane. Definitely an insane race right there. Definitely an insane race. Okay, we see Brandon Sanfilippo now joining in on the Discord here. So we get Brandon and McKellar, but we're waiting for our race winner to hopefully pop in here. But as we wait for him, we will pull our second place driver, Willie McKellar, here up into the broadcast booth. Hey, William, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
I got you, Aaron.
Well, man, what a wild race here this evening as we saw a lot of contact, a lot of issues, and some different strategies unfold out there on the Speedway. And as it comes down to the very end, you're able to work yourself up into position number 2 here for that final restart. Unfortunately, just didn't quite get the jump you were hoping for to battle there door-to-door with Brandon Honeycutt as he was able to open up a lead and pick up the win. You had to settle in for the solid second-place finish, man. Take us back through this race and how you got it done.
Well, I mean, I think the big thing is I gotta take us back. I think the caution. I think it was back on lap 95. Came down pit road right around there. I was like, oh, cool. It's got about a 25 lap jaunt to the end. 25 laps. Like I'll be able to come down pit road. I got the lead. I'll go ahead and I'll knock this one out. Come down pit road. Didn't take tires, so had to come back down straight to the back. But fresh tires, able to really work that outside line tonight. I noticed a lot of guys not really wanting to really test it up there. It's pretty loose, but being able to just send it around the outside 5-8 miles an hour faster than everybody else, man, that's the only reason I made it up there near them before that final caution.
Absolutely. So you're right there trying to work yourself back up through the field late in this race. And then all of a sudden, things get a little bit wild there from your perspective. What was happening there in front of you as you saw some of our race leaders get tied up with lap traffic right there to really open up the door for you to get back into the thick of things to maybe pick up the checkered flag?
Well, as I had a feeling that lap traffic was going to come into play. It's like I'm going to be able to at least get up and be in the conversation for the top 3. And then when they caught the 01 there, I mean, he was coming over the radio asking where to go, and he wasn't certain what he needed to do. They were too wide. They got together, and I'm just like, oh, please, don't come down the track. Don't come down the track. Don't come down the track. And they didn't come down the track till after I got by. So I was just hoping and praying that I made it through.
Absolutely. Well, you definitely made it through, and you make it up here onto the podium with a solid second-place run here on the evening. William, who would you like to thank for another great run and another great race here out of that 75 machine?
Well, I got to thank both Brandon Honeycutt and Brandon Sanfilippo. Like both of those guys were an absolute blast to run around. I mean, there for a while, I was working with Brandon Sanfilippo to get through the field earlier in this race. Those two great guys to run around. So I got to thank them. Good, clean racing. Got to thank my wife. She lets me do this. Got to thank my son for being quiet, and I got to thank God Himself for giving me the time.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we appreciate you hopping in here and having some fun on the evening after a solid run. A little bit more points into your back pocket here as other drivers run into issues. So maybe a little leapfrog there in the point standings for you, helping you out towards your hunt for the championship here in the Slingshot Sim Racing Truck Series. Will, congrats on the second place run, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here next week.
Hopefully, you're talking to me as a winner next week. That'd be great.
Absolutely, brother. We can't wait to see you back up here in Victory Lane. Enjoy the second place finish and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yep, you too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Willie McCallum, our second place driver here on the evening, coming home there in position number 2. A solid run and a solid drive there for our second place driver. I don't have our race winner yet in the Discord again, so I'm not sure where he is, but give it up there for Willie McCallum, P2 here on the evening as we'll get ready to pull in our third place driver, I guess, as we do have Sanfilippo waiting patiently here. So we'll pull in position number 3 here, the 16 machine of Brandon Sanfilippo as he comes home in that third spot. Hey, Brandon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
I do.
Brandon, a very good run, a very solid performance here for you throughout the day. We still get tied up in a couple things early on, just a little bit of bumping and banging here and there, but slowly but surely throughout this race, as other drivers ran into issues, went back throughout the field, you were able to kind of just play some strategy, keep yourself clean for the later portion of this race, and put yourself here into a solid podium run on the evening.
Yeah, I got myself in a couple spots that I couldn't get out of earlier in the race. A little bad luck. Luckily, no major damage. I could fix it under a caution. So, and then a little netcode got me later in the race, but luckily no damage there. So yeah, fun race overall. Track was a little warm, so definitely made it interesting. Just a fun race.
Absolutely, a lot of fun, a lot of carnage, but a lot of good times out there on the Speedway, and definitely gets a little bit better when you can pull yourself up here into a podium finish as you come home in that third spot. Brandon, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Just friends and family, everybody watching the race. You for putting it on, appreciate it. My team on DEI Racing, great group of guys to race with and strategize during the race with, and Sanfilippo Solutions. And that's about it.
Beauty. Well, Brandon, a great run, a strong performance for you here this evening. Hopefully we'll see you back out here next Tuesday, and hopefully right back up here into the broadcast booth, maybe a couple spots better and up in victory lane yourself.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher here on the evening, Mr. Brandon Sanfilippo, as he comes home in position number 3 here on the evening. Mama Bear says, awesome job tonight. Aaron, you're the best coming in, showing the big love. I appreciate you, Mama Bear. Ira Cole is coming in as well with that share on the broadcast. Chris Peters coming in with the thumbs up, coming in with that like on the stream, as Jeremy Vaughn says, don't like it to be the sandwich. Don't like it to be the sandwich. What in the world? What do you mean? What does that even mean, Jeremy? What does that even mean? He never speaks. He never speaks. So I'm assuming that goes to our race winner. Our race winner never speaks. So we'll give a little shout out here to Mr. Honeycutt himself, as Brandon Honeycutt obviously not in the Discord here for post-race interviews, but Honeycutt coming home with the win, parking himself up in victory lane. A very good run, a very strong performance. He showed up late in the race, up inside the top 3. He was hanging right there with Lane Phillips and the 7 ride as they were duking it out for that race lead. He was right there poking his nose into that fight for maybe the first spot, and as they got together with the lap traffic. He was the benefit of that one as he jumped into the race lead for the restart and was able to drive home with the win here this evening. So huge shout out there to Brandon Honeycutt in that 13 machine. My boy Lane Phillips up in the chat says, oh, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. That's a tough break right there, Lane. That's a tough break right there for you, Mr. Phillips. Says, such a great run, such a good drive going right there. And whether or not you came home in first or second or third right there, or even if you didn't finish the race, no matter what, I mean, it would have been fun to watch you guys continue to duke it out there at the front of the field, 2 wide, almost 3 wide there at the front of the field before the lap traffic came into play right there. And definitely a tough break there for you. Don't like to be the sandwich between truck and the wall. Sheesh, piece of... How am I supposed to know that? I thought you just didn't like to be a sandwich. Tough race there, says Shannon. Yeah, Mr. Wood, that was a bit of a tough race. It was a tough race for a lot of people, unfortunately. Tough race for a lot of drivers. Tough race there for a lot of good competitors out there on the racetrack. I mean, even when you look back at that green-white checkered restart there, our final restart of the evening, we had 2 of our drivers inside the top 4 spin the tires. We saw Brandon get up into the outside fence where Jeremy gets into the back end of him to get him going, but then we saw the 33 of Alan Wild spin the tires. He goes around, nowhere to really go for Amber Collis or Gary Wright. We saw, Matt Taylor down through the grass, James Smith down there trying to work himself through it, and drivers just going everywhere, and other drivers finding some holes, working themselves into great finishes like Ty Dickinson up inside the top 5 here. A solid 4th place run for the Sweet Tea Gang, number 67. Great drive, great run right there for Ty Dickinson as he comes home in position number 4. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unfortunately that will do it for us here this evening. A lot of fun, a lot of great racing, a lot of awesome action here all evening long. As yes, the Lord Legend, that race was insane, man. That race was insane for certain, and I'm sure we're gonna see more of that tomorrow evening when we head back to the track. I do believe we head to Indianapolis for the Indy 400 tomorrow with the the Slingshot Sim Racing Cup Series presented to you by Race City Racing Memorabilia. Those drivers, a lot of the same drivers from here this evening, will be back in attendance tomorrow night for our Cup Series. So make sure you guys tune in to that one. Make sure you guys don't miss out on any of the action as we'll be back live here right around 9 o'clock Eastern Time for our Cup Series tomorrow evening. And it's going to be a lot more amazingness. Says, yay, Cup Car, says Jeremy Vaughn, laugh out loud. Shannon says, gotta work tomorrow night. Good luck, all. Shannon, we'll miss you out there on the racetrack, brother. We'll miss you out there, but good to see you back out here on the racetrack having another decent day. We saw you up front running there pretty well for most of it until later on in the evening when things kind of went astray there for a lot of our front runners. But, man, great racing, a lot of amazing action. I can't wait to see what tomorrow evening has in store, but thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP Party Pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP Party Pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome